Sharp Game here. Welcome to another episode coming at you from ChooseYourRelationships.com. And today I wanted to talk about interracial relationships. And if you've been following me for a while, or if you read my first book called Sex, Lust, and Lies, I talk about interracial relationships and my experiences, and I kind of tap into it a little bit on my newest book called Love Can't Wait. And I just don't think the grass is greener on the other side. I think that there's a whole set of new problems that me personally, I just don't want to deal with. But the problem with anybody that's I don't have a relationship with a white woman. Never have and never will. But if you do have a relationship with a white woman or a white man, I want to know, the question I have is, what do you say or do when you hear or see any type of injustice that happens to black people? Do you act like it doesn't exist? Or do y'all have a conversation about it? Or do they blow you off? Do the white partner, your boyfriend, your husband, or your wife, do they blow you off? Or what? I'm interested in knowing what happens, the dynamic in a relationship that you might have with a white person. Because based on my experiences, just being around a lot of whites, when it comes to anything controversial, white people don't like to talk about anything controversial, period. Sex, religion, politics, they ain't trying to hear it. They get uncomfortable quick. They just disengage and might even leave the whole area. So, how is your relationship with the white person? What type of foundation does it have? Is it did the white woman end up with you because you were a talented guy with skills? Or what is the relationship built upon? See, that's the thing. That's the point I'm trying to make, because I just don't see how you can be in a relationship or live with somebody and the elephant is in the room and no one is talking about it. I mean, because a lot of white people will sometimes blow you off if you start talking about anything controversial, or if you tell them about an experience you had or something that happened in your family or your family history. They'll say, hey, that's the past. Hey, get over it. I wasn't there. You wasn't there either, so why are you talking about it? They have it's a double standard. So how do you coexist with somebody like that? I mean, what do you say? What do you do? How do you, I guess, meet each other in some form of middle ground in the relationship? Are you just a lapdog or subservient to them, or what? I know a lot of women are lapdogs. I mean, if you want to live like that, hey, knock yourself out. But the thing you have to understand is relationships have legs, different legs. You see, it's not about how you feel, or relationships is a political and spiritual union. And I realize there's different types of relationships as well. So, some black people are, when they get with whites, they're just hustling it. Like, whenever I see a black woman with a white guy, first thing that pops in my mind is it real? Or is she just hustling? Or she probably just don't care about shit. She don't love nothing. In most cases. I know it's always an exception to the rule, but I'm just curious to know what type of relationships people have that are married to white women. And when I say interracial relationship, I'm talking blacks and whites only. That's the real. When you're looking at the television, and when they talking about interracial relationships, they're talking about whites and blacks. And I'm talking about blacks and Chinese, and I'm talking about blacks and Latinas. No, blacks, whites. Mainly, the focus is really on blacks, black males, and white women. And there's a reason for that. I'm not going to go into that. That's a video for another day. But the focus is on, they put more focus on the black males and white women because they don't like it. But they'll try to glorify in movies white men being with black women. They'll glorify it in movies, but they don't take it to the extent that they do with white women and black males, because I think they get more attention and more eyes, more revenue is being generated when it's black men with white women. Even think about looking at porn, for example. When it comes to porn, people that's in porn, to do porn movies, they know this. No one really wants to see a white man with a black woman. Everyone really wants to see a black man with a white woman in porn movies. I don't know why that is, but the data is there, so you can go look it up. So I'm talking about blacks and whites together. So now that I got that clear, I'm gonna use myself for example. If I let's assume I was married or living with a white woman in a relationship, how would I tell her my family history? Basically, on both sides of my family, on my mom's side and my dad's side, were basically wiped out. The only person that survived is my dad and his sister on one side. And on the other side, on my mom's side, my grandmother was adopted, and her family tree got wiped out. And she was adopted by my great grandparents. So I'm like one of very few people I know that I met my great grandparents and my grandparents. And my mom is still living. She's 83 years old. And my grandfather, he died a long time ago. And my great grandparents died when I was between the ages of 10 to 14. And my grandfather died when I was 17. And my grandmother passed away this year, and she was 102. So I know my family history. I know what happened. They pretty much, my family on both sides pretty much got wiped out. As a matter of fact, I just met a whole nother side of my family Labor Day weekend that I've seen three of them, 3 out of 30 people in 42 years. I mean, so that's 27 people that I've never seen before. A whole different side of my family. Because what happened is my grandfather's brother moved away from home in a different part of South Carolina and started a whole new family. He got married, started a whole new family by himself. And he had 3 daughters, and those 3 daughters had 4 or 5 daughters, and those siblings had kids. So, it's a whole different side of the family that I knew existed, but I just never seen them before. So I seen them, and how do I explain to my white partner, if I had one, what happened to my family without her feeling uncomfortable? How would, that's the thing. That's the elephant in the room. And if you start talking about something controversial, most whites are going to get uncomfortable. Even if it's about you, they're going to get uncomfortable. Even if it involves you, they're going to get uncomfortable. Because that's not a part of the status quo. The status quo is you're just supposed to be quiet and take it. Keep it to yourself. Don't say anything. Suffer in silence. See, that's why I say the relationship is imbalance. You really don't the non-white person really don't have much say so on anything, really. If you're the man, you really don't. It's imbalance. Because the white woman can change your life with a phone call. She can call the cops and say, hey, he raped me. You're done. She can make up anything and get the benefit of the doubt. If you're a non-white person, especially if you're a black person, you're never going to get the benefit of the doubt until something changes with the laws and public policies in this country. And I've had conversations with white women about this. Round table discussions talking about all of this. This is why I can have a conversation about it. And a lot of them would agree with me. They say, yeah, I can basically change your life with a phone call right now while we're sitting down. So if you look at Chris Brown. Look at a lot of the celebrities. Look at Bill Cosby. Look at a lot of celebrities. I can go back to Smokey Robinson. I can go back as far as, early 1900s. White women get the benefit of the doubt. They have the power. The system is going to back them up. Is the system going to back you up if you're a black male? No. Hasn't been proven to do that. Because the system is created by white guys for white guys. The system is not created by white guys for black males. No. This is why the relationship is in balance. And it's like a double-edged sword. Relationships are supposed to be organic. It's not supposed to be like trying to micromanage anybody. It's like, so if you can't talk freely without pissing anybody off or being afraid of pissing anybody off, you have to be fake. You can't be real. You have to kind of hide who you really are as a person. And a lot of black people do this. A lot of non-white people, they do this on jobs around white people all the time, 5-6 days a week, how many days they work. So think about this. The same way you act at your job, if you're a non-white person, is the same way you have to act when you go home to your white partner. So you're not even living a double life anymore. You have to put on a performance at work and at home with your white counterpart. So what type of relationship is that? Now, if you're hustling, hey, I get it. And when it comes to a guy, guys, we can fuck. We can put our feelings on the shelf and have a good time and fuck. See you later, deuces. I'm gone. Now, women, it's it's not the same. It's just not. A lot of women I know, you say, hey, wait, if guys can do it, women can do it too. No, it's not the same. Women, everybody that women lay down with, they become. That guy leaves a piece of him inside the woman. That's metaphysics. I'm not going to get deep into that. And then some people will say, well, women probably leave a piece of everything. Women probably do the same thing to guys. No, it's not the same. It's not the same because women are open. Guys are entering the woman with the penis. So women have to take it. Guys, we don't take anything unless you're gay. And if you're gay, that's against nature. So you're in violation. So that doesn't apply to gay people, right? So every time someone enters a woman, there's a piece of every guy there that she's been with, even before you met her, right? That's why it's not the same. That's why it's not the same result. It's not the same situation. It's not the same. Nothing is the same about it at all. It's complete different dynamic. So relationships should be organic, natural. Shouldn't be like a goddamn robot, or you shouldn't be micromanaging. You shouldn't prefer certain people or prefer a certain type. You shouldn't. That's nonsense. I always thought that was kind of crazy when people say, "Oh, I prefer white women only. I don't talk to black women. White guys only. Black males only." I always thought that was kind of weird when people talk like that, because I don't really have a type. I mean, I just like who like me, and which turns out to be somebody that I'm attractive to most 95% of the time. If we vibing, if she's feeling me, and I happen to feel her, cool in the game. And the relationship is balanced. And we have chemistry. And we vibing back and forth. But if there's an elephant in the room and you can't speak due to fear of what might happen or due to the consequences, then what do you have? You have a manufactured relationship. You're like, I call these people relationship brokers. Now, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that the grass is not green on the other side. You just have a new set of problems that, me personally, I don't want to deal with. But maybe you can deal with it. I don't know. So I'm curious to know what you think. Leave your comments below. So until next time, subscribe to my channel. Check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com. Until next time, I'm out.